Hi, I'm Brendan Mills, CEO of RipCode, and welcome to another edition of the RipCode video blog. We've been talking a great deal at RipCode about the explosive growth of video over the last 2 to 3 years. One aspect of video growth is how you segment the content from one piece of content to another. Everyone knows about premium content or Hollywood content. I'd like to discuss for a few minutes the other types of content and how they may affect the transcoding solutions that you purchase. In this graph that I'm showing, we show 3 types of content. We call it premium, amateur content, and what I like to call reference content. The interesting thing about this chart is that premium content as we know it, which is essentially Hollywood content, Bollywood, the other types of movie content, plus TV content, is relatively static in how much content is actually outputted every year by that particular industry. For example, there are roughly 1,300 films made each year and roughly 30,000 hours of original TV programming. And this really doesn't change much from year to year. However, if we look at the other types of content, especially amateur, intermediate content, also reference content, these content segments are growing at a very large pace. For example, in 2005, by our estimates, there were probably 1 million pieces of content available on the internet for viewing video on demand. However, in 2006, with the growth of YouTube and other internet content sites, the content grew dramatically on a day-to-day basis, whereas today you can see anywhere between 2 to 3 million pieces of content uploaded per day to the internet. This includes, of course, user-generated content. It includes professional-generated content, but it also includes surveillance videos. It includes traffic cameras and includes enterprise video. All this is adding up to, again, increase the size of this amateur content layer and the reference content layer. So what's the difference between amateur content and reference content by our standards? Well, amateur content could be, again, amateur premium content, someone trying to be a new filmmaker, but it could also be corporate videos. It could be particular advertisement videos for a local community. It could also be training videos, for example. All this is content that may or may not be able to be monetized from a pre-roll advertisement standpoint. However, reference content is really content that will never ever be monetized on its own individual basis. And this is content that perhaps you would get off Google Maps, or content that you would see referencing a certain situation like surveillance video or traffic video. All this video is very important that it gets onto the web, but you cannot monetize it on an individual basis. So the important thing to understand all 3 levels of this content is that no matter if you are going to advertise or monetize that content or not, you still have to handle the deluge of video files and streams that are available. And that's where RipCode comes in. With our new Transact platform, we have a monetization strategy now for premium content and amateur content. But we also have the capability to handle the long tail, and short form content of the reference layer. And in this particular content, we can show our customers how to get the price per transaction down to literally fractions of pennies by servicing this amount of video. And so RipCode's strategy is to offer both spectrums, either the highly valued monetizable content and even the lower valued reference content as well. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you on the next edition of RipCode Video Blogs.